Hey guys, welcome back to Joy Serendipity. We're continuing the series. You can see by the YouTube thumbnail and just by the title of the video what show I'm talking about, which I am rewatching right now. It's like a comfort show. I'm on season 1 again. I already know what happens, but again. So we're going to talk about lessons you can learn from the Parkers. Now, if you haven't seen this show, it's something you need to watch. It's on Netflix right now. But yeah, this is definitely a show you would be interested in. So we're going to talk about lessons you can learn from the show The Parkers. Now, if you're new here, please hit the subscribe, like, and share button. That way we can grow my community and talk about two things I love: life lessons, self-help, as well as movies and TV shows. So last week I did Stepmom, and this week we're gonna do The Parkers, which is a show. So again, hit the like and subscribe button and stay tuned. So we're gonna jump right into lesson 1. Now I think the Parkers is a spin-off show from Moesha. So if you've seen that show, maybe I should talk about Moesha because I have a lot of things to say about the dad. But anyway, the main character, Kim of the Parkers, was also in Moesha. So she teaches us a lot, and I would say that lesson 1 is that confidence isn't about perfection, it's about your presence. Kim's mom, Nikki Parker, was the blueprint for boldness. Like, Nikki did not care if people thought she was too much or on the bigger side. She was confident, she was funny, she was fabulous all the time. Hair was always laid, clothes and outfits always looked good. And that's what made her unforgettable as a character. And I feel like Kim, her daughter, was the same way, and that's how she raised Kim. So the key takeaway from that is that you do not need to shrink yourself to fit someone else's comfort or standard of beauty. I talk about that a lot on all of my platforms. So love yourself, flaws and all. And you always saw her strutting and laughing and a little sassy in class, and she went after what and who she wanted. Why she wanted the professor, I don't know, because I really hated how this show ended. I'm not going to give it away, but definitely watch the show. So lesson number 2, I would say, is it's never too late to start over. So in the beginning, right away, this lesson is learned. Nikki had Kim at an early age, so her life kind of was pushed off because she took care of her daughter. But she went back to college. Now, it was community college, which a lot of her friends joked about in kind of like a downplaying way, but at least she went back. So I feel like it was revolutionary for a black woman to go back to school in her 40s in that show. And not because she had to, but because she wanted to. She wanted to continue her education and achieve something outside of being a mother. So yeah, by the way, I am drinking a blue raspberry refresher. It is never too late for you to start over. And Nikki Parker was that proof that it is never too late to reinvent yourself and go after your dreams. She didn't let the age get in the way. She didn't let motherhood or the opinions of other people. She went about her business and achieved her goals. And she was chasing Professor Ogilvy too. As you can see, I have a love-hate relationship with that character. You watch the show, you will see why. But you can start over at any age. Growth does not expire at all. And you can celebrate the small achievements that people put a timeline on at any age. Your timeline is your own. So yeah, I would say that she even raised Kim. There was one episode where Kim wanted to give up her like going to school because she wanted to focus on fashion, and there was nothing wrong with fashion, but she wanted to stop. And Nikki was like, no, get your education, then you can follow your dream. That is not very promised. The fashion world is very, very competitive. So yeah, she had Kim focus on going to school. The next lesson I would say is love yourself first, even when you're in love. So Nikki and Professor Ogilvy, you know, Nikki knew her worth. Professor Ogilvy didn't know her worth until the end of the show, which I hate. For seasons, we saw Nikki obsess over this basic man to the point that it became her thing, like what she was known for. And she used to get made fun of by friends and coworkers and peers. Even her daughter sometimes be like, Mom, why are you chasing him? That man don't want you. But here's what's beautiful. By the end of the show, she learned that love isn't about chasing someone who can't see you. So in the middle and toward the end, she started dating a guy who was in the same scenario as her. I'm not going to give away the ending, but I feel like they were meant to be. That's all I'm going to say. Don't want to give away the ending or how things went, because I want it to build up for you season by season. But yeah, she learned that chasing someone who can't see you is not good. So it's about recognizing your value. Her journey reminded us that sometimes love teaches you self-respect through heartbreak. Because she did get her heartbreak a couple of times. So don't beg to be chosen. Choose yourself first, and the right person will meet you there. Loving someone else starts with loving yourself and being willing to walk away, because I feel like people respect you more when you walk away and they say, oh, that's how she feels about herself, she respects herself, I need to step up and start doing that. Another lesson we learned in this show is mother-daughter relationships can evolve and should evolve. So Kim, she was so funny, and they had emotional moments together. Like, obviously Nikki had Kim at an early age, so it kind of gave sister vibes, but at the same time Nikki reminded you that she was her mom. So the dynamic between Nikki and Kim was chaotic, hilarious, but it also always remained real. Kim wanted independence and Nikki wanted closeness. So in the first season, I think it was like the third episode, Kim like sprung upon her mom that she's like, oh Mom, I'm gonna move out, I'm getting an apartment with Stevie, which is Kim's best friend. Her mom was like, wait, what? Why? She's like, Mom, I'm an adult, I want to grow, I want to go start doing adult things. And so yeah, so she moved in with Stevie, and then Nikki found out that Professor Ogilvy lived above Kim and Stevie, so she kind of like stayed on Kim, like trying to basically move her way into it, which kind of happens. But you know, Kim like laid down the law and had some boundaries, like, Mom, okay, like we can live together, but you're still gonna have to respect that I am growing. That makes sense. Their relationship showed us that growth sometimes mean learning to let go, both for the mom and the daughter. Love sometimes looks like giving space, and growth means allowing each other to change. So I would say you saw this a lot. You saw it at the mother-daughter tea. You saw it when Kim wanted her own apartment. You saw it when Kim wanted to go with her friends to spend Christmas with them, even though Nikki's like, well, we always spend Christmas together. Like, there's so many episodes that show us their dynamic of a relationship and how it grows. I would also say another lesson, though, is be bold about your ambitions. So, outside of school, there was an episode where it introduced us into Nikki doing like Madam Egyptian, and that was like a little side hustle that she did, along with she did catering. She wanted to start a catering business, which her friend didn't support at first. Like, Andale, I had a love-hate relationship with her because she showed up sometimes, but at the same time she was very shady undercover, which is people you have to watch out for. But I digress. Nikki saw her as a friend, so be it. So yeah, Nikki had many hustles: Lady Egyptian, catering. What else did she do? She did a couple of things. And oh, she ran for class president, many businesses. But from opening her businesses to talking and taking leadership roles, she would bet on herself, and she didn't always win or didn't win right away, but she always showed up. That's a reminder for all of us that you do not need to have it all figured out when taking the first step. I honestly feel like if you have a dream and goal, you should go for it right away and not be worried about failing the first time, because at least you tried and then you know what you can learn from to better yourself. Go after what you want loudly, proudly, and consistently. One of the last lessons, because I can go on about the show and I'm still continuing to rewatch it, is friendships can be family too. So Kim's best friend was Stevie and T, and then Nikki's best friend was Andell, which you all know I cannot stand her sometimes. But let's not forget that Kim's crew, her best friends, were her safe space, and they were always there for her. The Parkers reminded us that your chosen family matters just as much as the one you're born into, and sometimes even more. Friendship isn't about perfection, it's about loyalty, laughter, and people who clap for you even when life gets messy, and they'll support you. So build your tribe, build your ecosystem, as I say, and the right people will grow with you and not against you. So yeah, the Parkers might have just made us laugh sometimes, but you also could learn a lot from them. And we cried sometimes, and beneath the jokes were powerful messages. You're allowed to be extra, you're allowed to start over, and you're allowed to be a main character, even if the world just doesn't get it yet. Because, like Nikki showed us, confidence, persistence, and a little bit of delusion can get you everywhere. Did she get the man in the end? Yes, but it should have been a different man, in my opinion. I want to know if you guys actually like the Parker's ending or not, because I feel like I'm the only one who didn't. But, oh, I'll talk about another show where I didn't like the ending in the next week. But yeah, stay tuned. I also wanted to show you guys, I put in the description, but you should check out a few of my books that I wrote, and yeah, I'm gonna explain them to you. This first one is Girl Talk in the Kitchen. It's a cookbook of recipes, a comfort food that I like. It gives you recipes and quizzes that you can do with your friends. Food's really delicious, and I am pro woman, so I'm always going to do something for the girlies. This will be in the description box below. The next book is Gloss and Grit. As I say, is I'm 100% for women. So these are poems that I wrote that I did it in the way of magazines because I always love reading magazines. So they're poems to uplift women and remind them that they are the baddest and that they are worthy of what they want and dream of. It's just like an uplifting poetry book in the form of a magazine, because magazines like to tear down women or uplift one type of woman. Mine uplifts all women. Check it out. Last one is my first one. It's my baby. It's called Emerging Wings. I love butterflies, and I feel like you can learn a lot from nature. So these are poems. This is a book I wrote, and it takes the butterfly metamorphosis and uses it to talk about how we grow into who we are meant to be. So definitely check out Emerging Wings. I'll put all the links in the description below, and I'll see you guys on next week because I just got in mind what next show I wanted to do. Try to guess what it is in the comments below, and stay tuned. I'll see you guys next week.